Hello everybody, I'm going to talk about chain link, well, one pier and the rest are bridges of some kind, but it quite amazed me. What we're looking at here is we're looking at 3 piers, so let's just put the video on. So we're looking at 3 piers. This one is the chain link pier. We'll just talk about this. This is quite an amazing bridge. This is the first bridge, so it was built before these two, and they managed to anchor it into the hillside. So this is the 1800s. You can see quite a lot of houses, but when I first made a video about it, they said that they were struggling to provide the people with groceries and things like that because they didn't particularly have a good road system. But look at all those houses, and can't spring up without some kind of infrastructure. And then, but they could burrow this into the hillside with machinery of some kind when they had horses and carts. It boggles my mind. But anyway, it seems to me that, none of us in our history seem to have this bit, what piers were really for docking ships. That is what a pier was made for, docking ships. Today we see amusements on them, and they seem to have been there since as long ago as you can almost remember, and they're not really talking about the fact that, it says there, where does it say? The chain pier was built in 1840, was initially used as a landing stage for pocket boats and steamships that sailed from Dieppe to Brighton. I mean, that is quite incredible. Before Dover, they used to sail from Brighton. And it's very weird that it didn't maybe continue. But anyway, and there's a little bit more there. That says that there, look at the bottom. So there you go. So that's one thing that's not really in our history, is that piers were meant docking boats to sail. So they were well organised about sailing, even if in Brighton the road system wasn't. And you can see all those buildings. They couldn't just have gone click and they sprung up, and they're burrowing into the hillside and putting chains in there to secure the pier. In the early 1800s, it was built in 1814, when they tell us that things we didn't have a lot of stuff then, and roads and well, it just wasn't the way they were saying, was it? At all. But let's continue with, well, that's what makes that chain link pier so important. And even if it got destroyed or whatever, a tsunami or whatever, they haven't told us else that happened, and the 18 tons of marble on it and so forth, and the grandeur of the whole thing. All that time ago, they had all this. And again, looks quite Roman to me. This pier and this pier, and that was a beautiful sort of theatre pier, and the one that's left is that. But that is the chain link pier. And what is it? They're saying that's like half a suspension bridge, and now there's bridge. But that one was destroyed, but they used it as a pattern. I've seen that bridge before. One World Order, and it's been like that for a very, very long time. It's not something that's just thrust on us today. A lot of the bridges that were built in the 1800s look like that. So, and then in the 1920s, when they're building the bridges again, they're a little bit different, but they're still suspension bridges. We've got one in Bristol that looks like that. This is Budapest. So they're saying only 12 remain today in use, but that's not true because I found a load more. But we'll have a look at some of these. So I think I'm just going to go through, oh yes, we're going to look at these ones. So they're all over the place. So I'd say one world order. You know, if you're not supporting the rest of the world, why would you build all the architecture and all the bridges, all the infrastructure? Why would you build it the same all over the place, but you're completely different regions and rules, and it just doesn't make sense, does it? But it does if you're controlled by the Romans. And so you can see that although it's a suspension bridge, the style has changed a little bit. They're more iron alike, I suppose that's what they would be, isn't it? Whatever material they were using in there, it was more like. And this doesn't match up, and while that country was there, and then the Dutch had been very rich, you know, the Spanish seemed to rule a lot, but it's all a load of rubbish because, you know, the English, the Romans, somehow it comes from here. I'm really sorry. That's Charles is king of this country and all the little islands around. He's king of territories. He's got many, many things, and now it's called the Commonwealth. So, this one, I'm just going to stop at it. Well, let's just go back a little bit. So the Menai Bridge is in Wales. Me and Jimbo went on that, but it was getting a bit dark, so I didn't. And they've taken nearly everything off the bridge, so it's just more a bridge rather than having all the animals and things all over it. But this one was built in 1818. It's called the Menai Bridge, and if there's a saying on the television, Operation Menai Bridge, it means that Charles has died. This will be his code for his death. They all have different codes, but this goes from Wales into the island of Anglesey, which is obviously Welsh as well, but it's an island off of Wales, and that's the bridge that you go to get on it. It's looking quite like the bridge in Budapest. So 1920s, they were more iron or whatever they were using. Iron probably, isn't it? See the older ones and the ones built 50, 60, 70 years later, or maybe nearly 100 years later. So the theme of this video is it's all one world order as far as I can see. It's been going for a long time. Even all the 1920s bridges look very similar. So we're just going to play out the rest of this video with a little bit of information as seeing it. Wow, how old is all this really? I mean, that bridge has been put into part of the castle, and it was there in the 1840s. Quite incredible. Not sure if it's all the same bridge, but today they've got a nice motorway or road going past it. I think on the other side. But a long time ago, there you go, that looks old, doesn't it? Maybe the Browner buildings are a little bit older than the castle, I don't know, in that one. But it had the suspension bridge built by 1840s. Incredible, or what? So I was just sticking that in because I thought, wow, that bridge is fixed to the castle.